Started nice and easy, baby. Take it real slow, baby. Just let it take.
All right, here we are.
How you doing?
It's great to see you, man.
Okay, so I want to know what you've been doing and where you're living and what's going on with you for the last 30 years.
Well, forget about me. No,
No.
I'm actually living in Brooklyn now, and you're in Manhattan.
For the last 35, 40 years.
Yeah, you're loving it, right?
Same place. Oh, yeah.
Well, let me embarrass myself, okay? Can I?
Okay.
All right. You, first there was Ringo,
Yeah,
and then there was you. When you came out, all the Beatle records went away.
I'll take second place.
It was all over. The Rascals were the first band I ever saw live at the Island Garden Arena. You guys opened for the Byrds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were talking 65,
Yeah.
maybe 66.
I was like 15 years old. Yeah, 65. I was 15 years old.
I remember when we played, what was that club on Long Island together? I don't know the band you were in at the time. It was, we were fresh out of Jersey, the Rascals were. And, oh, Jesus, Zeros, was it?
Zeros, yeah.
Zero, remember that place? Yeah, yeah.
That was in Long
Yeah,
Beach.
I was impressed by you then.
That was in Long Beach somewhere.
Yeah, so Long Beach, Long Island, yeah, yeah.
Wasn't it?
Anyway, I'm sorry, what were you going to say? Yeah.
No, I became a Rascal groupie. You know, I used to actually, when I was 15, I used to roll my pants up to make knickers and put the socks all the way up to here.
Yeah.
And I met you once before. You know, I mean, the first time I ever met you was at MacArthur High School. And I have to tell you now that it totally changed my life, and I talk about this in my clinics, because when I spoke to you, it was so easy to talk to you, and you answered so many questions that I needed to know at 15, 16 years old, and it made me think, maybe I can do this, because
Wow.
you and the other
got me
guys
on a
and
good day
the guys
with
in the band were really nice.
Yeah.
You realize that you showed me, I asked you, how do you twirl your stick? And you went like this.
No
And
kidding.
you showed me how to do it, right there.
This is wild coming from you.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. The Vagrants had forgot their bass guitar. And I was in a band at the time, a little band we played in the basement of my parents' house. And I said, oh, I have one at my house. You know, Philly Basile come up to us and says, hey, any of you kids got any guitars? You know, bass guitar. So he got us a limo to drive us back to my parents' house. And he said, you'll meet the Vagrants if you come back. So we're up there meeting the Vagrants, and I turn around, and in a room across the hall, you guys are in there. And I like gasped, and he said to me, do you want to meet those guys? And I went, yeah. And he took me in the room, and it was unbelievable. And that night, because a girl that I really liked was in the audience, I asked Felix if he would dedicate Mustang Sally to me, and he did.
Coolness.
Yeah, it was really, it just changed my life totally. Like, these guys are really cool. And you take the attitude that when you meet somebody, that attitude that they give you, when you had a burgundy set of Ludwig, I got a burgundy set of Ludwig.
Really? Yeah.
I had everybody, when Ringo came out, everybody bought that pearl black set. But when you came out, everybody bought a 24-inch bass drum.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah,
and it was either silver or champagne sparkle.
Yeah.
Right?
I picked that up from Krupa. Yeah, he had a 24.
I was going to ask you that. That come from the big band stuff.
Yeah. Well, I worked at the Metropole.
Yeah.
He had that big 24, and I just, fell in love with it, Plus, it sounded so, extra deep and big, and, so I just, brought that in, and everybody jumped all over it.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. I had the Throne, because you had the Throne.
Yeah, yeah.
If you notice, like, if you see old videos of Billy Joel, you'll notice that my cymbals are flat.
Yeah, I used to play them flat.
Like this.
Yeah.
You played them flat.
A la Dino, a la Sonny Payne. I got that from Sonny.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that, Lib. I didn't know that
forget about
it. That you followed it like that close.
Oh yeah, I never took lessons, so you were one of my teachers.
When I became really aware of you, you had already, you've been developed, and you had your own, totally own style and everything.
Right. Well, when we started recording, that's when all the toms. Everybody started to use the
Yeah.
4 toms across the front and stuff like that. But in the
I
beginning,
mean, you had a pocket that was so deep. I mean, I just love to listen to the way your grooves were. On Billy's stuff. I mean, just, unbelievable.
Uptown Girl, When in Rome, song called Half a Mile Away. That's me being Dino Danelli.
Well, no, if I had to say what was your favorite, beat that or drum design that you came up with for one of Billy's records, what would it be?
Well, everybody says that it's probably Just the Way You Are, because it's so simple, and it just
But is that
fits with
your?
the song.
I mean,
yeah.
You would go with that, yeah.
Well, me and Phil Ramone and come up with that whole feel.
Out of everything, even the obscure, sometimes you caught a great. Like
Well,
I
Get It
know-
Right the First Time is a great one. There's a song called Get It Right the First Time. That's got a good groove. But I think The Stranger has a nice feel on it.
Very nice feel, yeah.
How about yourself? What about Dino Danelli?
I go back into the obscurities, like it's a song that nobody knows called "Hold On." Just a real rascal aficionados would know that song, and it was a B-side of I forget what record, and it never really came out by itself or anything like that, and it was just buried on an album. But the groove the drum design I came up with is just one of my favorites, like a tom-tom, complicated thing.
Yeah.
It almost reminds you a little bit of later on Steve Gadd did that 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover,
right.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's Hold On. It's
It moves
really,
the song.
Yeah, like a New Orleans-based kind of funk thing that I've always thought it was one of my favorite, most creative beats ever, but no one knows what it is.
It's great. Where'd you live? Where'd you grow up?
Jersey City, Hoboken area. Came over here, though, when I was real young.
Yeah.
Came over here when I was about 12 or 13.
So people ask me, why the drums? Why the drums?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just, I saw what happened when girls watched me play, I mean, it was a way, natural thing. I mean, it was a cool idea, absolutely.
I heard somewhere where you practiced looking in a mirror.
Yeah, I mean, I was just really moved by, by the classic guys, Buddy Rich and Gene Krupa. When I saw those guys play, I mean, I knew what I was going to be doing for the rest of my life. It was just simple. I mean, there was no ifs, ands, or buts. That's my path,
Yeah.
Just knew immediately.
So, your roots were really, really deep in jazz then.
Yeah. Like I said, I came over here early. I came over here and lived, I lived at the Metropole when I was like 14. I was living there. And at nighttime...
Literally living in there.
living upstairs, yeah. The owners of the place really took a shine to me.
Right.
And they gave me a place where I could sleep and hang out because I was working down in the village, doing like, one-night things. In those days, what we did, you just put together a band of 3 or 4 people for 6 sets a night, and you make $18 or something like that. But that's what we did. So I was going back and forth from Jersey City to New York and everything. So I needed a place to crash. They let me crash upstairs in the Metropole, and that gave me access to all these people.
Yeah.
Buddy Rich was playing there, Gene Krupa, all the greatest bands. I mean, Count Basie's orchestra came in there with Sonny Payne and everything, and I was, it's heaven. I mean, I was just watching these people. Like a sponge, just absorbing it all,
Yeah.
I mean, it was the greatest education that you could get, So that's, that's pretty much where I learned everything.